Hello and welcome to Beyond the Ruins. This is a new visual novel that came out a while ago, but I believe that it was revamped just a teeny bit. I'm not exactly sure what it's about. The only thing that I know is that you're going to be playing a character who just wakes up in the middle of what could be, I guess, considered a post-apocalyptic setting. And I know that at least one of the CGs is going to look very familiar from another visual novel. That's about as much as I know. What else? I know I read the synopsis, but I'm completely blanking on it. So yeah, that's pretty much all I remember. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going into it blind, basically because I can't remember a thing. Which is pretty par of the course for me. Anyways, yeah, I guess without further ado, let us begin Beyond the Ruins. Beyond the Ruins. It was silent and dark. That sounds of blowing air and mist fill my ears. I can't move my arms. I can't move my body. I can't feel anything. It feels like death. Am I dead? I can't remember. You have to wake up. For me, please. A beam of light flashed over my entire body. It met me with surprise. You haven't seen the light for some time already. This feels so strange. The machine flashed red in color, triggering my fight or flight senses. It followed with a series of beeps that sounded very uncanny. What's going on? My mind screams in panic, yet my entire body is still motionless. I can't move myself. Where am I? I hear the air sizzling and the cold brisk breeze that sweeps across my flesh. There it opened, greeting an unfamiliar person above me. Who are these people? Everything is too blurry to see. My entire body hurts. I'm still tired of moving. The air. The noise. The light. Alas, dragging me back into the pitch black. It suddenly feels so warm. The smell and sound of fire, crackling. There were layers of blankets that surrounded my body. In the distance, I hear two men arguing. It's hard to hear them, but I heard that they were talking about me. Where did you find them? We found them on... I thought that we just gathered some loot, but we ended up taking a person here. The area is dangerous, isn't it? Aren't those filled with... Is he alive? He looks like... I already checked. He is still breathing. He's only preserved. He's not a... right? We'll kill him if he does show suspicion. We'll just see. Some time passed. My head hurt. My body feels heavy. You woke up surrounded by a lantern along with some few first aid kits. Where am I? I look around my surroundings. Every corner looks so moldy and dusty. Hello? Is anyone here? Did I get abducted? A cold echo filled the space as my voice echoed through the hallways. Yo, you're awake. Who are you? Relax, I don't mean no harm. I heard footsteps from far away, the hallways though I can't see clearly through the darkness. The sound of footsteps grew steadily louder, each step becoming more noticeable. They slowly unveiled from the man I heard far away. I was approached by a man with an unintelligible, goat-like appearance, bright yellow horns and dusty red fur, with his hands in the air. In front of me is a man standing. His details become more prominent as campfire radiated through him. I come here for peace. Let me explain what happened. What? I'm Kraus, a survivor. We are in an apocalypse. What are you talking about? I know it's shocking, but it's real. I'm serious. But that's okay. We don't mean no harm. We want to save as many survivors. We? You mean there's more of you? Well, most of them are asleep, but there's more of us. How are you feeling, though? I feel okay. My body hurts a bit. Oh, must be like waking up from where they found you. I took a moment to daze and look at my surroundings. Hollow and empty halls of an abandoned building. I saw some bags and cases at the back. Where are we? It's an abandoned building that we call the base. It will serve as our shelter for now. I see. You guys have a lot of crates. That's our supply. We had to steal them from somewhere. Well, it's not being used, so there's that. If you guys can steal, does that mean that you guys can do illegal things? Technically, we can, but it doesn't mean that we would. Blah, enough with the world around us. We make the air feel melancholic. Let's talk about you more, though. I haven't asked for your name. Oh, I forgot my name. You forgot? It's... You remember your name as, or not, you'll think of another name, Roger. Yeah, I forgot. I'll call you Roger then. Greetings, Roger. Welcome to, your new home. Thanks. Now, don't be so shy. You are part of our crew now. Don't worry, we won't hurt you. Just keep your butt on the lookout. Just kidding. Yeah. Sorry, just trying to lighten the mood. I think it's better to keep it casual. Haven't talked to new people since... I see. It doesn't feel cold, right? I think these blankets are enough. Is he awake? You hear rushing footsteps from somewhere in the hallways. Yo, Fred! Are you alright? Yeah. How are you feeling now? Do you feel any discomfort? Pain? Nothing so far. I guess few body aches. Oh, goodness, you're doing better. Though, can I have something to eat? Yes, of course. I'll be right back. I'll fetch you something quick. Who is he? Oh, you can call him Wilfred. Fred, or Will for short. He's our leader. He also serves as a medic for our team. Wilfred, huh? Often so caring with people. We had a time where one of us got injured, and he was there all the time. Yeah. A bit on the quiet side there, mate. Yeah. A gentle pat caresses your back. Shocked? Terrified? Uneasy? It feels so sudden. I just can't stare at what's happening and just gave a slight nod at Kraus. I get ya. New people, new places. A bit overwhelming, eh? I know it's so sudden, but trust me, we will try to be as friendly as possible. We even don't know each other, just that we met amidst the apocalypse. Don't overthink about it, pal. You will be comfortable here in no time. I'll try. Ambience of the campfire pops and cackles, accompanied by the wild howls of the roaring wind beyond. Sensations of shivering from the cold wind brushes through your skin, then suddenly you feel a comforting arm on your shoulder. Though being with these strangers, I wonder what has brought this disaster to happen. What happened? Like, how did this apocalypse happen? Do you remember how? I honestly have no idea, but some say that it was a long time ago. If I can remember, I was in college doing my schoolwork when news happened about the spread of these monsters. Then, a lot of things happened. But yeah, again, I met these people and the rest is history. Ah, I see. We're trying to survive in this wasteland. Say, how did you forget your name? How so? I forgot. My memories are foggy still. All I can remember is waking up here. You seem to go into a coma or maybe an injury, or you have dementia. Either way, I'm sure you can remember your memories. An inaudible voice fills your ears, then followed by the fading echo of footsteps in the distance. You trance deeper into your thoughts. You stare at the distance, recalling everything. My friends, they were laughing. My family portrait inside my wallet. I was in the park. Then it was evening and I was in bed somewhere. Last thing I did was get inside a capsule. Then darkness. I need to recall everything before I come to that black-colored capsule. I argued with my parents. I don't know what. My professor, no, a therapist, she handed out something for me. Some sheets of paper. Her signature. Then my friends were laughing, and they're mocking me while we drank. I don't know the reason. Why I can't remember my memories. I snap back at the hallways with Kraus nowhere to be seen. Did I doze off? Nonetheless, it was embarrassing of me to doze off to someone speaking. The brown coyote returns with a bowl of soup in his hands. You okay, bud? You seem too quiet. You've been staring at there for 30 minutes. I'm just recalling my thoughts. Well, I hope that you like crab soup, a rare delicacy these days. This would cheer you up. He carefully placed the soup beside you. It's a warm soup, nothing too fancy, but this can work. Be careful, it's still hot. Thanks, Wilfred. Though I was expecting a thick consistency, it was just crabs with herbs in the water bowl. I take a spoonful of the bowl, and it was a comforting warmth. Seems like Kraus already left. You haven't noticed that he left. He must have gone to sleep. I guess. As Wilfred sits on the opposite side facing me. How's the soup? It tastes bland, but it works. Aye, we don't have a lot of spices except salt and peppers. It's hard to obtain nowadays. We sometimes find herbs and seeds, but it's rare to obtain them. Plants still grow in this timeline? They do. A lot of them took over the city. I see. Guess we have sufficient food. Don't jump quickly to assumptions, buddy. We aren't sure if some of these are edible. But worry no more. Once I go out, I will bring enough herbs and vegetables for us. Sounds idealistic. Come on now. We can surely find those in a few days. I haven't properly introduced myself to you. I'm Wilfred, in charge of leading our group, and also the medic in the team. We aren't a lot, but it works. Welcome to the team, sir. Roger. It was also nice to meet you, Sir Wilfred. Me and Wilfred exchanged handshakes along with a bit of chatter before I finished my bowl of crab soup. I set my bowl near the fireplace. It's getting late and I'm feeling tired as well. It's 10 p.m. Perhaps we should rest for now. Most of our team sleeps in pairs of 2 or 1, and there's not much enough room for you. I can stay here. Nope, you can't stay here. You'll be cold out here. Once the fire is extinguished, you'll get hypothermia. Then where can I stay? There's one room available. It's filled with a lot of crates and boxes. Follow me. He gestured to you as you followed the brown coyote on the right side of the main hallway. After both of you stroll down the hallway, you eventually arrive at a room situated at the furthest end. He opens the door, followed by a creaking noise it made. The extra room is covered in dust and webs, surrounded by stacks of sturdy crates and a pile of well-traveled and worn-out luggage, each having marks of countless journeys. Wilfred took off his jacket and started to get to work, repositioning several crates and tightly packed luggage. The dust dances and swirls in the air as he lifts them with his huge brawny arms. You can see on his arms that he's experienced in what he's doing. Do you want me to help you? Don't worry, bud. I got this on myself. He continued to move the wooden crates and what seemed to be heavy baggage. With a few moving to create some space, Wilfred wipes his sweat from his forehead. Phew, that took a toll on me. I just hope my arms don't get sore. That should be enough space for you to sleep. Thanks again, Wilfred. Take all the time you need, buddy. Your body and mind deserve a lot of rest. We will start to build up your strength and get you back in shape on Friday. Sure, Wilfred. Good night. Good night, bud. I'll see ya. Wilfred closed the door gently. Now I'm alone inside, I guess my new room. I look around to see the environment to familiarize my surroundings. I approach the mattress that is laid on the floor. This is where I sleep now. Everything is happening so fast. I'm too tired to think about it. I should sleep and leave it for tomorrow. Shutting your eyes, you voluntarily tilt your head on the other side in an attempt to sleep, slowly drifting yourself into darkness. It was windy. People were chatting with each other. Then there is someone familiar that I saw. Roger, come here. The view here is great. What is it? Come on, you can't miss this. As I arose to my feet, I was greeted with a cold breeze and a breathtaking, stunning landscape revealed before my sight. Its beauty, enchanted, and a vastness surrounding me in something of a soft embrace. The sky was beautiful. Day 1. Hours later. You awoke, gasping for breath, enveloped in a dense and stifling atmosphere. Your heart pounds heavily as you stare at your bed sheets. What was that? Why I feel so heavy? My body hurts here and there. It feels so uncomfortable. The air inside the room feels tight. I need to wash my face. I feel like a zombie. If there's any water available around. I slowly arose from the bed, leaving the room as the door emitted a creaking sound. I try to walk properly, but I can't feel my legs. I closed the door and made my way through the corridors. As I stepped outside, I can now breathe more with ease. It was a bit cold. I slowly scouted around outside the corridors. I tried searching for the bathroom, through the rooms, but nothing and empty. The rooms near me are locked. Perhaps someone is sleeping here, probably Wilfred or Kraus. You stumble upon a dragon-like person who appears to be sitting at the campfire. Hello? I greeted the unknown stranger with an uneasy smile, and I extended my arm in a somewhat awkward manner. He notices your presence and turns his gaze towards you. It's you. You're awake. Excuse me. Could you lead me to the restroom? I need to use it quick. It's right next to my room. I don't know where your room is. It's at the end of the hallway. Never mind. Here. The blue dragon stood up towering over you with his height. Follow me. I followed behind his heavy footsteps, seeing his big stature almost blocking all the hallway view. As he guided you, a subtle redirection led you to the serene ambience of the east side of the lobby. Not so long, we both reached the end of the hallway. The interior is surprisingly clean despite being old. I'll go back to cooking. I step inside smelling the scent of moss inside. Not the most comfortable bathroom. At least it was maintained to be at least clean. I took a piss. I let out a sigh of relief. I took a moment standing there peacefully after I zipped up my pants. I went to the mirror where it reflected my face. I stared at my face for a while. I saw a man with a beard beneath his face, tired purple eyes, a face covered in dirt, with a frail, weak, and malnourished body. I'm old. Is that really me? I look so old. Did I move to the future? Okay, calm down. I assume time has passed while I was out. I need to ask Wilfred. Okay, shake it off. Like he said, I need to get used to this new setting. I swayed my thoughts and went on to wash my face thoroughly. Lavender scented. I thought they never have this is. Though soap doesn't expire, they're not as effective if left unopened for years. I proceed to wash my face until I was satisfied. I dusted off my clothing before going out. As I make my way back to the campfire site in the lobby, the warm glow of flickering flames draws my attention. Amidst the comforting light, I spot him diligently tending to a bubbling pot, creating what appears to be a hearty stew. The enticing aroma wafts through the air, alluring my senses and awakening my hunger within. Unable to resist the smell of savory scent and hunger, I decide to approach the unknown figure sitting beside the crackling campfire. I took a quick look in his direction, realizing that he was indeed still the same person who had guided me to the bathroom earlier. I sat beside him a bit far to keep some distance. I can't help but feel intimidated by his large stature and stoic expression. He's quiet. He doesn't speak that much. Well, given that this setting is awful, I think it's understandable. His clothing stained with dust and dirt tells everything that he has been living in the setting for a while. I don't know what I should do. Do I introduce myself? Before I begin to speak, he turns his head to look at me. His face looks so tired and passive. He takes a few moments before finally speaking. How are you feeling? His voice was deep, which matched his build, that softly echoed around the hallways. I can't help but feel a little taken aback by his unexpected question, but I take a deep breath and reply. I nervously cleared my throat and mustered up the courage to speak. I am alright so far. No pain or anything? I guess, except for my stomach. Do you want to eat? I guess. Although meeting him for the first time, it feels somewhat comforting with his silence. Regardless, I shouldn't let my guard down. I'll see if this food is edible. He nods and goes back to his cooking, not saying anything else. I hope this is a sign that he's willing to share his food with me. It felt so weird asking for some food with some strangers. But if they're willing to help me, I guess I shouldn't be ashamed. I watch as he stirs and simmers the food, the aroma making my mouth water even more. Minutes pass by, and it's only the wind blowing and the fire crackling that I hear. On his right are what seems to be vegetables along with some salt and peppers. This should work. As he extends his arm towards me, presenting a warm bowl of hearty stew, the rich and tantalizing aromas waft through the air, instantly reaching your nostrils and triggering your mouth to begin to water with anticipation. That should help warm you up. Thank you, Sir Rick. Thank you, Sir Rick. I cautiously look at the hot stew he gave me. It's piping hot with a bunch of greens. I guess it's better to try than to starve. I took a sip of the broth and it was savory, sour, and tangy, enough to make me squirm, yet I feel pleased with its flavors. As I continue eating, I can't help but feel a sense of calmness and comfort in his presence. He may not speak much, yet his actions speak for themselves. I'm grateful that he shared his food with me. I finish eating with this comforting silence. As you eat peacefully, you start to hear footsteps in the hallways that grow larger. You look up to see who that is and see a familiar face that you met yesterday. It was Kraus who walked towards you, then he greeted you happily. Oh, seems like you're getting to know more people, eh, mate? As usual, Kraus showed a happier, upbeat voice. He sits down near me, but not close enough. My stew is halfway empty. I feel nothing so far. I guess I'm safe? Click, click. Yo, matey, you feel better? I guess so. Aye, that's glad to hear. You'll be rocking in no time. Also, meet Rick. He's a big guy. He got himself injured while handling you. Ricky, mate, how's the wound from yesterday? Okay. Wait, there's a wound? It's not that massive. Rick's a big fella. He'll be alright. Well, thank you, Rick. You're welcome. See, you guys are already making connections. Yeah. Rick destroyed that machine. Huh? Rick, tell him your story. No. Aw. Is destroying a pod even worth telling? Yes, of course. Nope. All I can tell is that I broke it, and it led you outside with a few bruises. Did you guys just captured me for, more human power? Matey, don't put it that way. Well, I can't blame you for having a mindset of pre-apocalypse, but we aren't kidnapping you for benefits. We're trying to revive the fallen world. It looks impossible. Nah, there's a small chance even if it's 0.1%. I guess. The food is done. Well, I'm starving. Where's my bowl at? Need a fuel up for my work today. Rick pours you another bowl, and one for the red Capron. Oh, I haven't tasted this dish. It's amazing. Also, Roger, mate, are you good? You weren't too crash hot yesterday. You seem spooked. Not the Ripper kind of ghost, more like the spooky type. I was? Mate, you looked crooked last night. All pale and quiet, like you're staring into the depths of the abyss. Gave your back a bit of a pat. Noticed you were also looking dinkum-bushed. So I hit the hay and left you with old Wilfred. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely lost focus. It's alright, mate. You're lost when you're in a new spot. You will eventually get the hang of it. Yeah, right. How was your sleep, though? And, oh, by the way, where did you sleep? Wilfred gave me a room to stay in, somewhere at the end of the left hallway. Ah, the storage room? Dang. Why there, though? But I mean, the other rooms are damaged and filthy. But I hope you can handle the air in there. I didn't. The air was too tight. Yeah, better get it cleaned out, or else you'll get something worse like allergies. Well, at least you survived. Understand that. Been there before till I found some good mates. They taught me how to toughen up during the apocalypse, shared countless jokes and stories with them, till I started opening up and being carefree around them. Good old memories. Still with them alive for almost 5 years now. I don't talk with a lot of people. Bah, chin up, mate. I reckon we'll make you feel right at home. No worries. How about I give you a proper introduction to the rest of the crew later on? Sound good, yeah? I guess. I'll try. Alright, mate. Take your time. If you ever feel like chatting or hanging out in the Arvo, don't hesitate to give us a knock. I'm over on the west side of the lobby, second room on the left. We'll be training you next week as well, so eat up and rest plenty. We don't want to see you weak and frail on the training grounds. Alright, take care of yourself, Roger. He gave you a pat on the back, smirked, then stood up to stretch. Aight, mate. I'll be heading out. See you later. He waves off as he walks off towards the open area. See ya. As I waved farewell back to him. The blue reptile is still sitting beside the campfire, looking at the stew. I should go and take a rest. I'm feeling a bit tired. Rest easy. I stood up and went to the storage room. Each step felt heavier than the last, my heart pounding in my chest. This can't be real. The sound of my breathing filled my ears, reverberating through the walls. I must still be dreaming. There I found the mattress that I rested on, still in the same place. This is surreal. Am I dreaming? Some hours passed. It remained quiet until... Knock, knock. Hello? Is anybody there? Silence fills up a bit before he speaks up. My name is Scott. Can I come in? Yeah. You open the door meeting this kind of a familiar-looking white tiger. The tiger towered over you. His tall and muscular frame radiates from the light emitting from the small window. You looked up, meeting the stranger's gaze. Hey, just wanted to check in and see how you're holding up. I'm alright, just lost. Why so? The tall, muscular figure in front of me sat down on the floor near my mattress. It doesn't feel real. One moment I'm out there, barely surviving, and now I'm here, with strangers. It's all too much, meeting new people, trying to act normal. How am I supposed to just adjust? I see. It is jarring. You're living yourself there, and next you're in a room full of faces that you don't recognize. It's just... I don't trust you people. Yet. I don't know you people. I'm lost in place. I don't know. How can I survive out there the second things go south? Hey, slow down. Breathe with me, alright? In and out. The panic grips you harder. Your hands start to shake as you clutch the edge of the mattress, struggling to get air. Hey, look at me. You're safe. Right here. Right now. You're safe. I won't do you harm nor anyone around you. I'm sure of that. Now breathe in slow, with me. Count to 4. He inhales slowly and you mimic him, though your breath hitches at first. That's it. Now breathe out. Nice and slow. You follow him, trying to keep your breathing steady. Keep doing that. Bit by bit, the tightness in your chest begins to ease and your breathing slows. Your breathing slowly stabilizes as you clear everything out of your mind. You stare down at the rough, aged hands. I'm still alive. You breathe in slowly, then you glance up at him, your vision a bit blurred. That's it. Now breathe out, nice and slow. There is a gentleness to his voice, but it's hard to meet his eyes directly. You let out a long sigh as you breathe out. You alright? Yeah, I'm feeling much better. For the first time in what feels like forever, the weight begins to lift just a little. As a storm within you begins to settle, the world feels a little less sharp, the edges not as jagged as before. Scott's eyes soften, and for a moment there is a shared silence, a calm after the storm. I'm glad to know that you're okay now. As I said, my name's Scott, and I work as a scavenger here. And you are? I'm Roger. It's nice to meet you, Roger. He replied with a weak, awkward chuckle, with his genuine, gentle eyes. He extends his hand, opening his huge palm to me. The surface looks very rough with scars. I shook it tentatively, still unsure of what to make of the situation. He smirked gently while being radiated with the warm, morning light. Can I ask you some questions? If you don't mind me asking, I'd like to know more about you. Sure. Do you remember something from your past? I don't remember much at this point. Well, I got bullied before and... I barely even remember what happened to me. I forgot. That's unfortunate. Any hobbies you remember doing? Well, I like collecting things that I find interesting, like stickers, charms, brand patches, and decorative pens. Collecting, huh? That's pretty cool. Stickers, charms, brand patches. Sounds like you've got a knack for finding things with a story behind them. He leans in closer to you. Do you have a favorite piece or a collection that's particularly special to you? Actually, yeah. I got an old pocket watch that's special to me. It was my grandfather's. It's not particularly valuable or anything, but it's a piece of my family history. Your grandfather's pocket watch must mean a lot to you. It does. How about you? Do you have a favorite hobby or something that you're really into? Me? Well, I'm a huge fan of tabletop role-playing games. I used to play Space Conquest and other RPGs back in high school days. On weekends, I have a friend come over and play with them, though it's been a long time since I talked with them. We were the best of mates. I had him when we were being bullied. I was bullied for my accent back then. I kept it to myself, you know. I felt left out and always afraid of being seen and hated. But I had him and we spent our weeks just talking with each other. It was fun. I miss my high school days. Since college things went serious and I had to focus more on my adult life. I set my plans on working first as a part-time delivery guy. How was it? Well, I worked a lot 24/7 and I needed money for my needs. I didn't hang out with anyone back then. I spent most of my time just working. I have never been as confident as I was back then. It's a bit personal. But when everything went sideways, I had no choice but to join up with a group for survivors. Somehow I felt more open after the apocalypse. Maybe it's just that I need to talk with people now in this situation. Hey Scott, what happened to your eyes? Oh, the scar? I got it from an accident. I got in a car crash. My eyes opened in surprise. You got into a car crash? Yeah, unfortunately. Ever since that accident, I lost half of my vision. My right eye turned gray and I lost vision in it. As for my left eye, I can still see things, though it's hard to see because everything seems so blurry. I can't see people that much. They're blurry, sure, but I still recognize by their color and build. I need glasses or at least need to move a little bit closer to see you fully. But again, it is hard to find glasses, specifically ones that match my eye grade in this ruined world. So I remember people through smell and their color and shape. It's pretty awkward at first, but I got a hold of it. Right now, I see you as like a grayish mammal with pointy ears, I assume. That's me. Sorry you had to go through that. Oh, thank you, Roger. So many unfamiliar places, unfamiliar people. I was not very comfortable with strangers when I moved here. I struggled a big time at first, but there was this one man in the group, Wilfred. He took me into his group, brought me to the space, and I have been here for 3 years after the apocalypse. Kraus helped me to know the basics and taught me how to handle a gun. Rick helped me how to cook. And Zeke, he became my first teammate, and our mission together was... His cheerful smile slowly fades away and seems like he remembered something that he should have forgotten. Let's say it wasn't the best one there. But yeah, I met new faces, new people, and new environments. Even though I turned my gaze towards him, sensing the shift in his tone. It was because of them that I am who I am today. No need to hide in the bushes. We're all teammates here. I appreciate that, Scott. You know, it's been a while since I had a casual chatter with someone. Thanks for listening, Roger. Well, everyone's gone and we're the only ones left. But it's nice to see a new face once in a while. I'm happy to have you here to talk with. Scott's smile widened, gratitude shining in his eyes. Anytime, Scott. Well, I got to attend to my duties. I don't expect you to trust me just because I said a few kind things. Trust takes time, I get that. But if you need someone to talk to or just a quiet moment, I'm around. I'll see you later, Roger. Take care. The hinges cracked as he closed the door, followed by the sounds of fading footsteps. I went back to bed and continued to enjoy the view. Thinking back, I wondered what happened between them and Zeke. But it feels nice to be called a teammate. I stare at the ceiling after a conversation with Scott. For some reason, he reminds me of someone that I had in the past. Remembering that day I got drunk, I only tried to feel cool and belonged. Even though I wasn't. Never got to communicate with my peers around me when I was young. Slowly I remembered these things. I never got real friends with me. But there's this one friend. We were like siblings back in high school. We used to talk a lot. We used to hang out a lot, but then he suddenly disappeared when we entered college. Too bad that I didn't get his contact information. I wonder how he is doing right now. It sounds so ridiculous, but I'm still hoping that he's alive out there. If you're there, somewhere in this world, or somewhere up there, I wish that I could talk with you again. Someday. As I stare at the ceiling radiated by the window's light. I don't even remember his name. I don't know if they still have cameras working this year. That would be nice to capture some memories. I doubt there's one to power up to work. I keep staring at the ceiling, noticing the details. There's moss there. There's a torn ceiling. I don't know what that's called. I wonder what happened in this room. It looks like someone stayed here before. Looking back to my current situation, I don't know what I should do next. What now? Time went by. I start to stare at that one dusty crate, then the cracked walls. I don't know what to do to pass my time, though they said that I need to rest a few days before I can work. I look at my body. I look like a zombie, and I'm all skinny. I can't sleep. Yep, I'm standing up. I stood from the dusty mattress. The dusty crate caught my attention. I decided to take a look inside. It was filled with boxes, bags, and suitcases. I opened one of the suitcases and it was filled with photos. It was mostly a pic of Scott with a panther and a skull head canine. They seem happy together. There are more pictures of them and plants. And people, a building, a phone, a picture of a suitcase and some numbers. But one that caught my interest was a picture of a strange comet. It grows bright blue under the blue sky. It looks somewhat familiar. It reminds me of what I had. A tiger best friend, and we were watching the meteor shower together. Forget it. I store back the photos in the suitcase. I wonder what the others are up to. Maybe I should see them. Should I? Who should I visit? I assume that this is his room. Let's see if Wilfred is in there. I knocked 3 times. There was no response. I knocked again 3 times. Still no response. I try to open the door. It's locked. Maybe Wilfred is out. He's probably out. There's no point trying to visit him right now. I left the door and returned to my room. Okay, Kraus? Kraus told me earlier that somewhere here is a workshop. I observed several rooms till I noticed one that was open with the distant sound of metal clacking from behind the door. As you open the door, you are greeted with a dimly lit workshop, the sound of tools clink and machinery humming softly in the background. The smell of oil and metal fills the air. Kraus is standing there beside the table, his gaze focused on fixing a rifle on his workbench. You hastily step inside. Hey Kraus, how's it going? Looking up with a cheerful smile on his face. Good morning, matey. Oh, just the usual fixing up these old beauties. What brings you down here again? I don't have anything to do today. He stops working and gives you a stern look. Blimey, you should be resting up then. We don't get many chances to catch a break, you know. Come on now, head to your room and get some rest, mate. I tried, but I'm not sleepy. He sighs in defeat and waves a hand. All right, grab a seat. Just don't get in the way, yeah? He returns to the table he's working on. You sit down on a nearby crate box watching Kraus as he continues his work. You notice the care that he puts into each piece despite the rough conditions. He dedicates himself to working on these old rusted weapons. Everyone seems so busy today. Have you seen Wilfred? I visited Wilfred earlier, but there's no response. Wilfred's out on a scavenging run. Took a few of the lads with him. Should be back soon. Who went with him? Well, there's Lucas, brave as they appear. That bloke's got nerves of steel. And then there's Xavier. That one's as sharp as a tack. Sounds like you've known them for a long time. Kraus nods, a fond look in his eyes. Yeah, we've been through a lot together. Lucas has pulled us out of some tight spots more than once, and Xavier, our tactician, always thinking 3 steps ahead. Good lads, both of them. Kraus continues tinkering with the rifle, his hands moving with practiced ease. When they come home, I'll surely introduce you to them. That will be nice. Me, I work as a team's gunsmith, armorsmith, weaponsmith, you call it. I go a bit on the battlefield, but I'm not made for the front lines. Yeah, you'll be a great addition to our team. I can see it. Thanks, Kraus. No worries. Now hand me that wrench, will ya? I got work to do. You pass him the wrench and settle back on the crate. Feeling a little bit more at ease, moments like this make it a bit more bearable. Though, I haven't seen Kraus frown. Is there something that he's keeping? He's usually a happy guy. Something must have happened before. Whatever it is, I hope that he'll lighten up the burden. I continue to watch him work. The sound of tools and the occasional clink of metal creates a calming atmosphere, despite the turmoil outside. It's also oddly comforting, as if you're a child watching your dad fix something up in the garage, feeling both awe and comfort in his presence. It makes me relaxed. You watch him work with his tools in awe. He seems like so proficient in his work. So, what's the hardest part about fixing these? Oh, interested in guns, I hear? Well, it's not just about fixing. It's about making sure that they don't fail. Every part's gotta be perfect. One little mistake and it could mean life or death out there. I never really thought about it like that. Seems like a lot of pressure. These bad boys need to be made with precision. You gotta keep a cool head and trust your skills. Kraus wipes his hands on a rag, then starts on another piece of equipment. What kind of gun do you think would fit me? Oh, That will be decided on what suits you. Ah. It depends on Wilfred to decide what role that he will give you. I see. I yawn as I slowly feel heavier as you hear the ambience and noise the metals make. You seem tired there now. Yeah, it seems. Well then, I won't keep you here for long. Go ahead and sleep. Okay, sleeping it is. Well rest, Roger. You too. By the time you exited the workshop, it was already afternoon. The gold light illuminates the hallways. It was calming in a way. You make your way to your room. You close the door and lie down on your bed. I guess I should rest back to sleep. Maybe that will ease up my boredom. Slowly I begin to close my eyes in an attempt to make me sleep. I fell asleep. It's almost midnight. I'm starving. I get up from my makeshift bed and slowly make my way through the hallways. I need to find where they keep their food. I quietly make my way towards outside, trying to be as discreet as possible. It was dimly lit. I can barely see anything. I need to be quiet. I was careful to avoid any noise. I searched around the corridors trying to find the food storage. While I was walking in the hunt to extinguish my famine, I stumbled upon a figure standing in the shadow. I saw someone standing in the shadows, their silhouette tall, muscular, and intimidating. It recognized my figure from the hallways. It turned and looked straight at me. Before I could even speak, the dark figure walked towards me. I couldn't help but cower in fear, but then he spoke, his voice surprisingly gentle. Who are you? I stuttered for a moment, trying to find my voice. It was dark to see him visibly, aside from those piercing yellow eyes. A tall horned figure with canine ears and lion-like mane. The bright moonlight radiated from their back fur as he walked by the corridor. Why are you still awake at midnight? His presence made me freeze in fear. The man's broad shoulders and muscular build only added an overwhelming atmosphere. His deep voice made my hair stand up. Shivers ran through my whole body. I swallowed hard, trying to gather my nerves. At last, he was seen clearly from the shadows. He took a step forward, finally revealing himself under the bright moonlight. I stuttered, trying to come up with an excuse, but he could see right through me. The stranger's expression changed as he slowly approached me from the darkness. The atmosphere around me feels so uneasy and spine-curdling. He looked at me, his piercing gaze analyzing me from head to toe. After taking a moment, he questioned me. You're hungry, aren't you? My stomach growled, echoing through the hallways, answering his question for me. He took a good look at me and sighed. The name's Zeke. Follow me. I'll get you something to eat. He led me to the hallways. There was one crate. It was filled with cans and packaged food. He picked some ingredients before he went to the campfire. I followed him as he went to the campfire. I found an area near the crates that I can sit on. I sat down on the dusty concrete floor as I watched him prepare a sandwich. He sat down and looked at me with irritated eyes. I'm only doing this because you're not in a good state. Don't expect me to make you one next time. The aroma of butter and bread fills the air, then followed by the smell of meat. I watched him cook for minutes, his body and fur radiated by the warm campfire light. It made me feel a bit comfortable in a way. As a soft cold wind blew from the hallways, he sat and busied himself. While he was waiting for the sandwich to cook, he looked at me, his stoic expression. You sure making yourself cozy here? Don't get comfy, otherwise monsters will crawl up on you. Like that one beside you right now. What? Where? Monster? That. It was a cockroach slowly coming to my side. Can you deal with... The cockroach approached you in a rapid motion. Zeke! He grabbed a wood and approached the creature. He splatted with the wood. The crunch it made was utterly uneasy. He threw the wood away and went back to his cooking. These critters are the reason why some of our food went rotten. He sat down on the ground and stared at me with a disappointed look. So you scared of little cockroaches? Can you blame me? Oh please, they're not that harmful. Bacterias, infections, your immune system. I'm literally skinny. You're just making an excuse in your cowardice. I'm proving my point. Sandwich or no sandwich. Not him using the sandwich as a weapon against me. Erg. I can't argue either. He's the one making a sandwich for me. I'm afraid to talk back. I might not get the sandwich. Good. That's what I expected. He's making fun of me. But still, it's surprising as someone who looks intimidating could cook you a meal with patience. Thank goodness that he was awake and led me to where the food was, otherwise I could have starved to death here. After that, he sat beside me and leaned against the wooden crate, sighing deeply. He handed you 2 slices of sandwiches with a few strips of meat. I nodded, taking 1 slice of the sandwich. You're welcome. Thanks. I gazed at the sandwich. The bits of beef in the middle of the sandwich between a pair of freshly grilled bread smelled so good. The warmth of the freshly baked smell alone made my mouth moist. Without any thought, I took the first bite of it. I took another bite, savoring every flavor of it. Each bite explodes in my mouth, followed by the salty taste. I ate too much. This is bad. I need water. He notices me choking. I saw him pouring me a glass of water and handed it to me. Don't rush eating it. I immediately drank the glass of water till it was empty. I let out a loud sigh of relief. After I finished my sandwich, Zeke spoke again. How's your health? Not great. I've been feeling weak. Get plenty of rest. I already am. Also take your medications and drink water so that you can recover properly. Oh, right. I forgot to take one. I grabbed a pill from Wilfred and swallowed it with water. The winds roared outside, followed by the sounds of rain pouring. The air between us filled in silence. The flickering flames cast long shadows around us. I glimpsed at Zeke, who's staring into the fire, his expression unreadable. Breaking the silence, his voice low and serious. Roger, we need to talk about this. Swallowing hard, I feel an uneasy knot in my stomach. About what? Glancing at me, his eyes reflecting the firelight. About this world that fell into ruins. To all those walking flesh nightmares. I feel my body shivering slightly, both from the cold and the fear. I've been too afraid to ask. I don't know how it all started. Sighing, his gaze returning to the fire. I don't know either. I do know that it all began with a virus. A mutated strain spread through the blood, upon bind with their bleeding mouths. People didn't just get sick, they turned into monsters, nightmares made flesh. Monsters? Like the ones out there? They're not like us anymore. The virus twisted their bodies and minds. Now they're deformed and driven by a primal urge to bite and spread. I need you to take care of yourself properly. I'm expecting you, Roger, to survive and fight for yourself. In this harsh world, the weaklings perish alone. While you're sheltered, do your best to grow. We'll be training you once you're physically stable. I will try surviving. Good. I'm glad to hear. I caught him in a glimpse of a slight smile. I can't help but smile as well, seeing him so happy. Well, that's enough chit-chat for now. Let's get you back to your room before the sun rises. He led me back to the storage room where I sleep. Good night, Zeke. Night. He closed off the door, leaving a cracking sound as usual. I lie down on the makeshift bed, slowly resting myself. I pulled the scaly blanket up to my chest as I lay down on the worn-out mattress, then stared at the ceiling, remembering all the events of today. A lot has been happening lately. Zeke told me that I should rest more and grow more stronger. Scott's eyes was due to his accident. I remember our talking session with Kraus. I wonder what kind of gun suits me. I met a lot of new people and a bit of their past. It's nice to know a bit more of them. Though I haven't expressed my past, I don't even remember what mine is. What is my past, really? I closed my eyes and sighed wearily, attempting to get my mind off. With all consciousness, I finally surrendered myself to the embrace of sleep. In this ruined world, I carried myself away into the darkness. Tomorrow is a new day. And we're here. It's cold like the wind breezing upon me. I hear mumbling in the distance. You should join them and see the view. It's still evening. Don't mind us here. We'll keep on the lookout. Enjoy your view there. Don't forget your Polaroid now. Take care, Roger. Thanks. I chuckle heartily, unable to contain the warmth spreading through me. As I look around, I see their faces lit up with happiness, their laughter out in the quiet of the evening. It felt familiar. I wish that I knew what it was. Day 2. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So it's kind of obvious that the creator is not a native English speaker. Because you will note that there was a lot of, I guess you could call them grammatical issues. It would benefit the writer to perhaps hire someone to just go over the script as he or she is writing it, and just, correct some of the stuff, so that it is easier to read in English if you're going to present your visual novel in English. I say that they are not a native English speaker because I did go to their Twitter page when I was in the process of linking or getting all the links and stuff like that, and some of their responses, they're responding in English, but they're not responding in proper English. It sounds more like they're trying to translate what they're trying to say, but word for word, not in a normal way, I guess. Which might explain why some of the sentences sound the way they sound here, where it kind of sounds like you're going to lead to something, but the statement ends right there. And that's more indicative of somebody translating a word for word what you're trying to say, rather than having somebody translate what you're trying to say, which I know doesn't make sense, but in my head it does make sense. It's hopefully you know what I mean. But this isn't a criticism of the story overall, though. The story, though, is interesting if you're gonna go the way that I think you're gonna go. And this is something that I say at the end of the other video, because I'm recording this after the fact, after having edited everything, where it's giving me, it's reminding me of another visual novel, One Last Night, where it's taking place after the, I guess, apocalypse or whatever happened. And you have monsters roaming around that came about during the apocalypse or something. And you're basically just a survivor in the apocalypse. And you kind of have to acclimatize yourself to it. But instead of being the role of the protagonist of this story, you're the protagonist of the others. You're the secondary character of that story. But you're also taking on the role of another character from another visual novel. But that might be a bit more obvious who I'm referring to because of a certain CG that looks very reminiscent of another visual novel. But that aside, considering that this visual novel is being done by one person, it is incredible, I guess. Like the sprite work, the CGs and things like that, they're very good. And it's just really the writing that needs a little bit of work. I guess that's really my only criticism. That's probably what most people are gonna pick up on, which is just the writing, which if that's really something that you might want to focus on going forward. But again, this isn't like a bad criticism or anything. Like, it's just you might want to add somebody to help with the script. Character-wise, of course, I'm gonna, like the tiger, Scott, because he is a tiger. Tigers are my thing. Reminded me of another tiger by, God, I forgot their name. That they're an artist who really good, and they have done sprite work for the Smoke Room, but the way that they specifically draw tigers reminds me of Scott. The way that he's drawn, not like it was copied. No, like it just the art style reminded me of them, and yeah, like I like the tiger. I also like the Kraus. Not really sure if I'm pronouncing the name. And later on, he ends up having like it looks like he's supposed to be speaking like an Australian. But like, yeah, whatever. Then there's Wilfred, who reminded me of Will from the Smoke Room. And then there's the dragon dude. I forget if you see their name yet. Because again, I'm recording this after the fact. I already know everyone's names. But yeah, anyways, so what are your comments? Write it down in the comment section, and thank you all for watching/listening. If you would like to play Beyond the Ruins, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, which should have a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download it and play it there, or you can just, go to itch.io.com and, search Beyond the Ruins. And if they have any form of support, I will be posting that down in the description, along with my links. They'll be down there in case you want to support me through other means, or in case you want to become a channel member and see these videos beforehand. It's right there. It's only like what, $3, I think. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.